politics in Kenya has gotten even more confusing. Suddenly, all the principals appear, save for Musalia Mudavadi, who sends his apologies, and they say NASA is still strong. Including those who make an appearance is, of course, Senator Moses Wetangula, immediate former minority leader. And once again, Kalonzo Musyoka is calling Raila captain. What? What's going on here? Kuchanganyikiwa naye? People can't help but be confused. Because we know this is the same Kalonzo Musyoka who issued very strongly worded statements just the other day. We know this is the same Kalonzo Musyoka who wanted to meet Uhuru. You were saying even me, I want to meet Uhuru. Anyway, let's break it down. Now, there are two things we have said here on this channel, and we said it long before the things started falling in place, We said NASA is dead, Then the second thing we said is that in case NASA is not completely dead, what will arise is another new animal. Not NASA, the original NASA as we knew it, but a new NASA, a very different NASA, with ODM calling the shots. Those are the two things we have said. And indeed, both statements are accurate. But as usual, let's start from the beginning. Now, originally the agreement with NASA was that all principles were equal, all principles were exactly the same. The implication was that also all parties who are members of NASA are also exactly the same. So theoretically, if anything came to a vote, you'd have one vote for ODM, one vote for Wiper, one vote for Ford Kenya, and of course one vote for Amani. Now, when this agreement was being made, there was a major issue, if I can just remind you, and the major issue was who was going to be the NASA flag bearer. Therefore, none of the other contenders for the presidency, or to be the NASA flag bearer for the presidency, was going to allow an agreement where a party had more than one vote. Now, to be very honest, this kind of agreement cannot run an organization, This kind of agreement is okay when you're sitting down to decide who's going to be a presidential flag bearer, but after that, NASA should have shifted to another agreement which is more practical, And that is there must be one boss. Let me give you a very good example. A big corporation has very many directors, The directors control various portions of interest in the particular company. But there's only one CEO, One person who bears the ultimate responsibility, of what happens in that organization. Tell me, how do things work when you approach an organization and you're told there are 4 principles, And those are the ones managing. Those are the CEO, 4 joint CEOs. It can't work. It's bound to break down at some time. So the first thing we need to take note of is that this arrangement was not practical, right from the word go. And maybe it would have limped through, they'd have been able to cut corners, then survive. But then there was another problem. One of the member parties was doing 90%, 99% of the donkey work. Then the other 1% was being divided amongst the other member parties, the other 3 people. In other words, one political party was doing the work of 3 political parties multiplied several times. And of course, I'm talking about ODM. So what simply happened, after the January 30th swearing in, people realized that they were being used. That is the fact. The other 3 small parties they were riding on the backs of ODM. And so ODM decided, let us change a few things here, Let us get a clear person who calls the shots. And so that is precisely what has happened. And this was a masterstroke by ODM, because the reality, the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, is that Wiper, Ford Kenya, and Amani Party and their principals have absolutely nowhere else to go. They can't go anywhere. So they have to remain in NASA. And so they have remained in NASA. NASA is still united, but we know who is boss. It's as simple as that. This is a brand new NASA. This is not the old NASA. The old NASA is dead and buried. This is a brand new NASA. Brand new way of doing things. There's a hierarchy. There's a senior party, which is ODM, which calls all the shots, and then there are the other minor parties. That is really what the situation is, and that is exactly what ODM set out to do. Now, in my view, this is a very dangerous state of affairs. Okay? And why do I say it's a dangerous state of affairs? Actually, what has happened within NASA is like a man and his wife. And in this marriage, they have been real equal partners. Okay? But the rich person is the wife. The wife owns all the money. She owns the house they stay in. She's very rich. And her husband, well, her husband is not rich. Okay? So what happens? The wife discovered that the husband is not faithful to her. Yeah? She catches him red-handed. Okay? Now the situation is such that this man is even employed by a company owned by his wife. Yeah? So there's no way he can go. Okay? And to make matters worse, the two have had children together. And of course the children love their dad very much. So really the long and short of it is that the man can go nowhere. He has to remain in the marriage. Now this is why I'm saying it's a dangerous situation. This man is going to remain in this marriage, but there are issues. He's not happy with the way he's being treated. He's not happy with the privileges that have been withdrawn. Yeah. Before he had a car to his own use. Now his wife has told him, no, you have to ask me for permission so that I know where you're going. Every time you take the car, you ask me for permission. Okay? That is only fair. Because the last time you're using my car to carry those Malayas. So you need permission from me. So obviously the man is not going to be happy. And we have a situation here where anything can happen. Because the man can decide to kill his wife. It has happened. It happens indeed all the time. So this is exactly the situation we have within NASA. These other smaller parties are not happy. They can decide tomorrow to sabotage ODM, to make ODM feel the pain, like they felt the pain in the past. Okay? Maybe a better example to give is where the husband owns everything, yeah, more typical in Kenya, and the wife has been a housewife, depending everything on the husband. But now what has happened is that things have changed. The wife has been caught cheating. Okay? So they talk, they sit down, they decide, no, divorce is out of question. They have small children. The children will be traumatized, you know. So the woman decides to remain in the marriage. Actually, where can she go? She has kids. She doesn't have a job. You see what I mean? She has nowhere to go, so she decides to remain in the marriage. But that is a very dangerous situation because human beings are just human beings. She could decide to stab the guy in his sleep or do what we have heard, a terrible thing a woman did the other day. Yeah, waited for her husband to sleep, and then she took a knife and she cut off the offending tool in the husband's body. Yeah, the truth is the new NASA is toxic. No matter how much they tell us NASA is still solid and united, this is a new NASA, and the atmosphere, the environment within NASA is just toxic. Anything can happen at any time. And there's a lot of ill feeling. People are not happy. People may be looking to revenge, etc., etc. You know, this most recent press conference NASA called was very interesting because Wetangula stood far away from the other principals. He is normally there at the front with the rest of them. This time, alikuwa mbali kidogo. And not only that, his body language was talking all kinds of things. Resentment, a bit of shame here and there, you know, ill feeling, etc., etc. Okay, that's the new NASA for you. Now, the truth is, this new NASA is going to be more decisive. Decisions will be made much more quickly. Yeah. So if you're looking at a well-oiled machine, this new NASA is much more efficient than the old one. Okay. However, this new NASA comes with the problems we've just discussed, where anything can happen at any time. Now, I trust that we are much clearer now concerning NASA. Of course, you did not expect ODM to come out and tell you this is our strategy, this is what we have done, blah, blah, blah. This is how we have fixed these other guys, so we are still in charge, because we knew that they had nowhere to go. Indeed, we knew they had no other options. Yeah, ODM cannot come out and tell you the truth. Okay, but hopefully from our analysis here, now you know. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.